Hey everyone, Carolina Venom here. Today I am doing an introduction video on the Motorola Moto E on Cricket Wireless. I want to take you on the phone, tell you what I think about it so far, give you the specs, run some tests, and talk about it a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started. This phone runs Android 4.4.4 KitKat. Measurements are 4.91 by 2.55 by 0.48 inches. It weighs approximately 5 ounces. It is splash resistant. This phone does have a 4.3 inch display at 960 by 540 resolution at 256 ppi. This phone has a light sensor, proximity sensor. It has cornering Gorilla Glass 3, oleophobic coating. This phone has a 5 megapixel camera on the rear. No flash, unfortunately, and it has a few options like HDR, panorama, geotag, and stuff like that. Maximum video recording is 854 by 480 pixels at 30 frames per second, and you can take pictures while recording video. This phone runs a 1.2 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon 200 processor with 1 gigabyte of RAM with 4 gigs of built-in storage with around 2.2 gigs of maximum user storage. And this phone will support up to a 32 gigabyte micro SD card, even though I've heard that it does hold a lot more than that. I'll have to check in on that and let y'all know in the next video. This phone's got a 1980 milliamp hour battery, and I'm not certain of battery life, but I hear it's pretty good, so I'll let y'all know also in the next video when I do the full review of this phone and all that stuff. This is a low-end device. It's nothing spectacular. It is by Cricket, and of course you know Cricket. You know AT&T took over Cricket and everything, and so therefore Cricket is now actually a decent service. As you know, before Cricket had service, very scarce service in a lot of places, but now they are a whole lot better. They went from CDMA to GSM, and this phone is not yet activated. I have put the SIM card in there, and used to down here, no service with Cricket. Now I got 2-3 bars of service with Cricket, so you know, a whole big difference there. So let's go ahead and take you on the phone. I will not remove the back cover, or I may try. It's very hard to get it off. I don't want to break it, so we'll see here. On the front here, you got your ear speaker here. Like I said, no front-facing camera. Unfortunately, they left that off this phone. So if you want a front-facing camera, the Moto E ain't for you. Down here is your front-facing speaker, which is a major plus. And you have no trouble hearing this phone ring, I'm telling you. On the bottom, you have your micro USB charging port. On this side here, you ain't got nothing. On top, you got your 3.5mm headset jack. On this side, power button, volume rocker, and of course your camera, and that's it. So we'll go ahead and we'll try to get the back cover off here. I don't want to break this thing. There we go. Got it. Haha. Anyhow, like I say, the battery is non-removable. So that's still kind of a bad thing, you know, with me. But it's not too awful bad for a phone of this price. I mean, you know, you shouldn't need a, you know, extra battery, really, for this phone. Over here is your micro SIM card slot. And right down here, which is an added bonus, is your micro SD card slot, which was lacking on the original Moto G. So, you know, being able to, you know, increase your storage to have, you know, more pictures, music, videos, being able to possibly move apps to your SD card. The apps that are available for that is really nice as well. So, you know, a really good addition compared, you know, to the, you know, on the Moto E. So, But like I say, this phone is a low-end device. There's nothing special about it. It does feel really good in the hand. If you're looking for a cheap phone, this phone cost around $50 at Walmart. And, you know, that's not a bad deal. We'll go ahead and hit the power button here. The screen, of course, is not HD by any means, but it does look pretty good. As you see, I am in Cricket service. Right now, I do have 1 bar of service. It goes between 1 bar and 3 bars, and that has no problems getting out as I make a test call here to Cricket. And as you see here on the KitKat, the way that the call is, you can call the last person. If you call more than 1 person, you'll have a few different people up here that you can just push and call for people that you call most often. Down here is your dollar. If I hit the button. And it's pretty small, but it's, you shouldn't have any problems whatsoever. So we'll go ahead and call customer care here. We'll put it on speakerphone.
You're using Cricket. Before we can complete your call, we need to check a couple of things with you. Please hold on while we connect you with someone who can assist.
Clear sound. So that's a good thing as well. We'll go into the messaging here for a second. And it's just about like anything else you see. Standard text messaging, standard keyboard. The phone is a little laggy. It's not got no humongous processor. It's not blazing fast. But, for $50, a lot of times people will get a phone like this, say, well, it's slow, it lags, it's not the greatest or the fastest, it's junk. Well, you get what you pay for. When you buy a phone like this here, it's a Moto E, it's 4G compatible. It's not LTE compatible, but it's 4G compatible. So, you can't, you buy a phone for this price here, expect a phone for this price. If you want a better phone, you're going to pay more for it. But to me, this phone right here for the price so far is really nice. But like I was getting back into the keyboard here, it's your standard keyboard, pretty easy to type on. Auto correction is good as well. People like to know about emojis, and this phone does have them. I just got to, there we go. This button down here at the bottom, and they are color emojis, and they do have a lot of emojis on this phone. All the little smiley faces and everything. So you got all this, and so they are all color and everything. So if you like to use a lot of emojis, which I do on occasion, then you have several to choose from, which is also a good thing as well. Look at the N22 speed test that I ran, and like I said, the screen looks pretty decent. It ain't the greatest by any means, but my cell phone or my camera does not do it justice really. When you look at it, it's a lot clearer than when you're looking at it through my camera. But as you see here, it came in at 13,950, which is, it's not the greatest speed, but, like I say, $50 for this phone, it's not bad. When you look at the details, it does say CPU is poor, the RAM is good, 2D graphics are general, and 3D graphics are good, and the tests are not the greatest, but, like I say, what can you expect for $50? The phone does seem pretty responsive. Like I said, it does have the teensiest bit of lag. And of course, there is nothing on the phone right now but them 3 apps. So right now, it is pretty zippy and it is pretty quick. But of course, if you look down with apps, stuff like that, it's going to slow it down like everything does. And it only has 1 gigabyte of RAM. So there you go. We'll look at the quadrant here. I'm going to have to run it again. And I do, unfortunately. So we'll go ahead and run this quadrant here. Call quality, I really not tested it except for calling 611 to the earpiece. It does sound a little bit muffled, but it's kind of hard to tell without really, using the phone, talking to somebody. But call quality seems to be fairly decent. Has a little bit of muffling in it, but, like I say, it's a low-end device. You're not going to pay your arm and a leg for it. and you get 4G, a 4.3 inch display. Of course, these buttons down here, they are on screen, so when you look from where the buttons are and where the screen starts, you don't get the full 4.3 inch display, but it is manageable. So I mean, it's a nice phone. I mean, really, I would recommend it to somebody who's looking for a cheap phone. It wants a Motorola that, seems to be a pretty nice phone, but only time will tell. Let's look at the test here. Mine came in at 5,324, which, like I say, is a reasonable speed for this type of phone, this price range, and this processor. CPU down here is 17,017. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all there is to it. And like I say, the front face of the speaker down here, you'll have no trouble hearing this thing ring. It's loud. And I would play it right now, but it's 4:44 in the morning, and I don't, it's really loud. So therefore, I'm not going to play it loud as I can right now. But it is a nice phone. Camera does have limited features, of course, and it does not have autofocus, nothing like that. No flash, no front-facing camera. Like I say, if you're looking for a front-facing camera, this phone does not have that, and that's really a big turn-off to a lot of people that likes taking selfies or using Snapchat, or likes using Skype or something like that. Not having a front-facing camera is a turn-off to a lot of people. But at least they did include a micro SD card slot this time. Because if they hadn't done that, this phone would have really just been a waste of money. But adding a micro SD card slot plus the front-facing speaker, the decent screen, and the decent speed for the price you're paying for the phone, it's not bad. So I apologize for this video being longer than I expected. Like I said, this is the intro review of the Moto E on Cricket Wireless. I'm going to try it out for a few days, see how I like it, and I will get back with more of a full review. But in the meantime, if you got any questions or comments, please feel free to ask me. Subscribe to my channel. I sure would appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, and we'll talk to y'all later.